It's Wednesday, and I took off the day from work because I have been extremely burnt out from my corporate tech job. Currently, I'm going for a walk, and funny enough, the feeling of burnt out literally left my body this morning. I started with my morning journals and then made some tea, my rising tea. Afterwards, I started doing some yoga. As I was doing yoga, I started to take really deep breaths. Something about the inhale and the audible exhale. It was like all of the stagnant energy, all of the depressing energy, all of the, constraints that I typically feel on a work day were being released from my body. I was just like, whoa, maybe I'm not burnt out. I started writing a song. I started singing and just flowing, looking at my shadow as I was doing some yoga, sunbathing. It was amazing. And I was just like, why the fuck isn't every day like this? And then I remembered capitalism. Capitalism is stunting our creativity. For me, creativity is tied to spirituality. So if capitalism is stunting creativity, it is most definitely stunting spirituality. Under capitalism, the goal is productivity. With art and with spirit, the goal is not productivity, it's presence. So basically, I'm having these downloads, right? Because I'm singing and I'm opening myself up to spirit, and I'm asking for understanding, and all the lyrics that I'm coming up with are surrounding what my mission is, the energy I'm genuinely supposed to occupy. Much of that is suppressed under capitalism. It makes me angry, high-key. Mainly because when I feel the freedom, like right now walking in the park or doing my morning yoga for longer than the 15 minutes I typically allot myself, or taking my time while I'm doing my morning journals, when I remember that that's not my norm, that that's not my baseline, I get frustrated. So often when I'm doing my morning journals before work, I am literally breathing fast, and my handwriting is so sloppy because I'm rushing. This is not supposed to be the thing that's rushed. This is not supposed to be the thing that requires optimization, that requires productivity, This is supposed to be the part of my day that flows. But when the dominant part of your day and the people around you, their day, society's day, is run under capitalism, even when you find those moments of freedom, so often you're reminded of its momentariness. It deserves to be our baseline. Our baseline should be rest and ease. But under capitalism, in the Western civilization, we have a baseline of rushing. It's something that's been indoctrinated in all of us. How many of us subscribe to it, I don't know. In my college, we had a saying: to be early is on time. To be on time is late. To be late is unacceptable. That was just the standard. And little things like that, even though they might sound corny, they can stick with you. Especially for me, I'm the only black person on my team, and there's this stereotype that black people are late. CP time. I hate falling into any stereotype at my job because I am the only one. So the pressure to represent my community, my identity, overwhelms me. Realizing how much anxiety, stress, depression, burnout that capitalism causes, the only solution I feel is to get out of it. These momentary pauses from it. Doing my yoga, doing my journal, the day off, the weekend. no longer feels like enough. And the anxiety and the depression and the burnout every other day. The expectation to always be on go. The expectation to rush. I can't keep subscribing to it. I never truly did, like, mentally. You can believe things in your mind, but what does your body do? And although mentally I tell myself I don't really subscribe to capitalism as much as society expects me to, that's not true for my body. That's not true for my nervous system. And that's okay, because I learned that I could no longer ignore the effect that these beliefs were having on my physical body, on my mental health, on my overall wellness, on my spirituality, and because I am an artist, on my creativity. How can you create from flow state if you're always in a rush? How can you create from a flow state when you're driven by perfectionism? Another way capitalism stunts our creativity, because so much of creativity is based in collaboration. This individualistic mindset that capitalism promotes stops us from talking to our neighbors. If you've made it this far in the video, you're a neighbor, so consider subscribing. But, like, seriously, I'm not going to sit here and keep being an advocate, a proponent, or a notch in the machine. To the best of my ability, obviously. So I have space to receive God, to receive the ideas of my peers, to sit down and see the vision for what it really is. And I care about my actual next steps, my next steps in life, not my next steps for the shareholders. How can we create space in our lives? What elements of capitalism can we remove so that we can center the space for our creativity, so that we can center the wellness, so that we can center the reflection, so that we can center the self-discovery? My creativity is like my medicine. I'm sick of trading that to secure somebody else's capital. If this resonated with you at all, I consider you a neighbor. Consider subscribing and liking this video. More importantly, if this resonated with you and you're a neighbor, consider joining the newsletter in the chat. It's a free monthly newsletter. Each month there will be a creative mini essay, links to resources like grants and mutual aid for artists, links to upcoming events in New York City and remote events, and my most favorite part, the neighbor spotlight, where each month a neighbor will be highlighted for their art, their activism, their community organization, or their general ideas. And I would love it if you could be featured, but in order to be featured, you have to sign up. Submissions open January 31st. And like I said, this is totally free. Like, I can't make a video about capitalism stunting our creativity and then try to sell you something. So I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It is the way that I want to move through this world. I want to move through this world less under capitalism, less under consumerism, less under patriarchy, less under white supremacy. I want to move with love. I want to move with creativity. I want to move with intention. And that's how I embody myself in this space, and hope that throughout my life more spaces will be enveloped with that intention. I'm naes, the artist you just took some time to meet. I'm freezing cold, by the way, so I gots to go. Bye.